This is, can I say something? What you got to say? And I'm excited this evening to be sharing the platform with my sister, none other than Sherry Hamilton. And she's coming to us this evening. I was going to say we are coming to you this evening talking about the matters of the heart, but she's going to come to us and share with us the matters of the heart. We know that February, the month of February, is all about the heart, and in so many different arenas. You got you got the candy hearts, you got the heart, you got the love of your heart. It's just February is the month for all things heart. And so I decided to invite Sherry on to talk about the heart that is so important to all of us, that heart that all of us share. And that is none other than our physical heart, the heart that provides us life every day. It is a very, very important organ. And tonight we're not going to hold you long because it took us a while to get here. But tonight we're just going to share a few things about that organ heart, the heart that if you don't have that, if this heart is not right, then the candy heart box and the flowers, the roses, everything else matter concerning the heart is obsolete. So, Sherry, let's get started and let's see what we got going on.
All right. Thank you so much. Yolanda, listen, I love you, my sister. And I am grateful to be here. I'm honored and I don't take it for granted. Anytime I have an opportunity to share matters of the heart, I see it as a privilege and an honor. So I want to encourage you all that's watching right now. I want you to come on in for a moment. We're going to go somewhere with this tonight, all right? We're going to talk about matters of the heart. And Matters of the Heart is my program where I go out into the community, especially to my Black and brown communities, all right? I go out and I talk about cardiovascular disease and why we should learn CPR. Now, I want some interaction tonight, all right? So if you here tonight, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been affected by heart disease? All right. So just put a hand up. Listen, just put a hand up, or you can put two hands up if you need to. All right. But have you ever been affected? All right. And I'm talking about, have you had to deal with heart disease yourself? Have you seen a loved one being affected with heart disease? Or have you ever, you have anyone that passed away due to heart disease? All right. So if you have, all right, I want to encourage you to just wave your hand at me tonight, all right, or just say me, all right, because what I find is that so many of us is affected and we don't even understand it. Ms. Yolanda, have you ever been affected? Do you know anybody with heart disease? Have you ever been diagnosed with it? You don't have to give your information out on social media, but I just want to know.
Yeah. No, I haven't heard anyone in my particular family, or no, I haven't been diagnosed with it. But I do know that it's something that's really going on, and it doesn't discriminate.
It doesn't discriminate. You're absolutely right. It does not discriminate. And I always share this, and it's my own testimony. Because my family, unfortunately, have had to deal with heart disease, all right? My grandmother passed away due to congestive heart failure. My grandfather passed away due to a cardiac arrest, all right? So I kind of have seen this throughout some generations, all right? And I'm a nurse by trade, so some of you, I'm a nurse by trade, all right? I've been a nurse since 2002, all right? And so this is something I also seen. I've seen a lot of my friends, my family members being affected with heart disease. But let me share just a little bit about myself. And so then I'm going to tell you why and how this has affected me and why I do what I do. All right. So, been a nurse for over 20 years now. And one day I was working at Travis County. All right. I was working as a wellness clinic nurse at Travis County. And as I was working, one day I was totally inspired to become a CPR instructor. And sometimes God will just inspire you, and you don't even know why you inspired to do something. You just know that you got to do it, right? And so I was inspired one day to become a CPR instructor. And within 3 months later, I really discovered my why. All right. I discovered my why, and it changed my life, and it changed how I do things. All right. I had a loved one that literally passed away in front of many family members. All right. It was multiple family members around that morning. And I remember them coming to me and saying, Sherry, I wish I could have done something. I wish that I had recognized the signs and the symptoms. I wish I knew CPR, right?
Yeah.
And in the midst of that, what I did was I turned that hurt, I turned that, because we lost a pillar of our family when that happened, all right? We lost a pillar of our family. He was the man, all right? All of our family members are my cousins. Everybody always looks up to our loved ones, to my uncle. And so when that happened, I discovered my why. I took that hurt, I took that disappointment, I took all of that sadness and stuff, and I began to use it for a purpose. And so this is why I go forward. I hope that we're still on. I think we're still on. I just saw a blank, but so I took that and I turned that into something positive. So I began to teach my own family, and I began to go into the community, and I began, of course, teaching nurses and doctors and stuff like that. So I just wanted to share that background, because many of us have been affected, and not just because we have heart disease, but sometimes people have heart disease and don't even recognize it, that it's a disease. If you got high blood pressure, that deals with the heart, all right? If you have high cholesterol, y'all, that's dealing with heart disease, and sometimes we don't even recognize it. And so tonight, I just wanted to come on, and we wanted to share about the heart. So if you see this, whether you see this in the replay or you see this live tonight, I want to encourage you tonight to interact with us, all right? And just, say, hey, me, and make comments as we go forward, because if you talk to us, we're going to talk back, all right? We want to talk with you, because I want to provide some education. And Yolanda, what I do with my Matters of the Heart program, as I say, I go out into the community and I spread awareness. That's what it is. It's just awareness about heart disease and how it affects us, especially the Black and brown community. Because as I stated, so many of us are being affected. And so I'm going to share tonight. And if you, like I said, if I'm going to ask some questions, y'all, and I want y'all to put some stuff in the comments below. All right. All right. So let me ask this. Heart disease, let me share some information right quick. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. Did you know that?
Pretty much, yeah.
You knew that heart disease, right? Heart disease is the number one, y'all. It's the leading cause of death in the United States. But did you know that one person dies every 33 seconds? My God. Every 33 seconds in the United States, somebody dies due to cardiovascular disease. And about 695,000, y'all, people in the United States died from heart disease in 2021. They're still doing research and stuff like that. So we're going to have more information coming out for 2023 and 2024 and things like that, right? Wow. Amen. I see Adrian said he didn't know that. Yes, one person every 33 seconds. My God. And also, as I stated, 695,000 people in the United States died in 2021.
Wow.
And guess what? That's 1 in 5 people. And let me say it like this. It's 1 in every 5 deaths. 1 in every 5 deaths. And that's according to the American Heart Association. All right. And so I'm going to be sharing tonight I call it my did you know, all right? So if you know, that's great. But if you didn't know, I'm grateful to be here to share this information with you tonight. Because as I stated, we want to share some awareness. And this is the month that, we talk about the heart, as Yolanda has stated, right? We talk about the heart and we spread some love and everything. But
Yeah.
listen, if this heart over here don't be beaten, listen, we in trouble, all right? And
yeah.
So I'm going to ask a question. Y'all come on in with me, all right? So a heart attack. What is a heart attack? What is a heart attack? I know that we hear about it, and I'm gonna tell you now, I had some good friends and many loved ones, as I stated, that have passed away due to heart attack. And when I go throughout the community and I ask this question, and sometimes we kind of know it's in the back of our head, but sometimes we don't want to share. We don't know how to articulate it, right?
Yeah.
And so tonight I'm just going to break it down for us tonight. So a heart attack, all right? A heart attack occurs when the blood flow to the heart is partially blocked. All right. So you got your heart, all right, and all of a sudden, it could be a clot, all right, and the blood flow is not flowing the way it needs to. And so what happens is it's partially blocked. It's not fully blocked, all right, but it is partially blocked. And so that is that's how we kind of like define a heart attack versus a cardiac arrest. And although some heart attacks are sudden and intense, most heart disease or most heart attacks start very slow. All right, it starts very slow. And I want you all to put down below for me, if you can, put down some symptoms that you think that occurs in a heart attack. So go ahead and write that down for me. Write down some of the symptoms that you recognize or you believe that happens when somebody is actually having a heart attack. Go ahead and write it down for us. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining in. I see you. Come on in, y'all. We're just having a discussion tonight. We want to talk about heart disease and we want to spread awareness because so many of us is dying due to heart disease. And by us coming on tonight and spreading awareness, we believe that it can literally save a life.
Yeah.
It can save a life. I remember my loved one saying,
yeah,
it can save a life. I remember my loved one with that background coming in at y'all, so I'm going to try to fix that.
I got it.
Background coming in at y'all, so I'm going to try to fix that.
I got it.
It's still coming in. Still coming in.
Hold on. Is it good?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. I hope so. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, Adrian. I saw that you wrote down some things. He wrote down. I think it's still going forth, y'all, and I apologize because I'm not sure where that just come from. Let me know if you hear in double.
I think that's me. With that was me. Yeah.
What you do is you turn down your volume all the way down. What you do is turn your volume all the way down.
I did, but it still didn't work for me. For some reason, it's not working for me now. Okay. I'm sorry about that, Cherry. For me now. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry about that, Cherry.
No problem. We're going to try to get through this, y'all. No problem. We're going to try to get through this, y'all. Let's make sure. All right. So Adrian wrote down. Let's make sure. All right. Chest pain. Let's see here. I'm sure I can figure this out too. I should be able to do something on my side. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure that out. So I see Adrian wrote down chest pain and arm pain and weakness. And that's good. Those are all some of them. Adrian, let me know if you still hearing this double background on your side. Let me know.
I still hear it.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to come out of Facebook on my end. And I did. I don't know why it's there because I'm not even in Facebook anymore. So,
okay. I put it on mute for just a moment. That's all right.
Okay.
We're going to get through this. I'm telling you, this is one of these days, y'all, but we're going to get through this today. And I just want to take the time and share. And thank you all for watching right now. We appreciate you very much. Okay. So I believe that you all able to hear me.
Yes.
And so let me do one other thing. I figured it out. I got it. It was me, not you. All right. So let me know if you can hear me now. Listen, you can hear me now.
Yes.
All right, good. All right. So I don't need to hear myself. So I see that Adrian wrote down weakness, he wrote down arm pain, and he wrote down chest pain. And those are all some of the symptoms, all right? Because what's going to happen if somebody is having a heart attack and you're going to have some mild or discomfort, all right, of pain. And often people aren't sure what's wrong, all right? Sometimes people are not sure what's wrong and they wait too long before getting help, all right? So these are some of the symptoms: chest pain or chest discomfort. Or what about even pressure? All right, sometimes we got pressure. Or have you ever had anybody that talk about squeezing? They got that squeezing pain in their chest, all right?
Yeah.
And even fullness. Sometimes we're thinking we feel full and we're not quite sure, all right? And what about, I saw that Adrian wrote down arm pain. And you can have left or right arm pain. And sometimes it's in both of your arms, all right? Sometimes you can have it in both arms. Also, this is one that many times people forget about. What about jaw pain? Did you know
that's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah.
Pain? And sometimes we're thinking that, oh man, I've got some TMJ going on. You're thinking you got some TMJ going on or something like that. And what about back pain?
Wow. Never thought about that.
Yep, back pain. And also, this is the one that I see that many of us, especially us women, forget about. Sometimes we've got some stomach pain. You can literally have stomach pain, all right? That is one of the symptoms. And shortness of breath as well. And you can have shortness of breath with or without chest pain. My God. Yes, Lord. You can have it with or without chest pain. And so many times, us women, we will ignore some of these symptoms because we think that it just deals with us aging, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, we think that it's us dealing with our age, all right? Like we're getting on up there in age. And so sometimes we kind of like pass it off, all right? And these are two other ones that I want to mention. What about breaking out in a cold sweat?
Yeah.
All right. And even nausea. Sometimes you can get so nauseated and lightheaded and you don't even, you thinking, oh, it's just, I got a headache
don't
again,
even know why.
or I worked too much today. But literally, you can be having a heart attack, all right? I want to make sure, listen, I hear Adrian saying, yep, that is so true, y'all. Y'all come on in. Listen, I want to interact with you guys, so let me know. I'm going to ask some questions tonight, all right? And I want you to drop it down below, all right? So my next question is, what is a cardiac arrest? Because so many times people think that a heart attack and cardiac arrest is the same thing, but it's not. All right. A heart attack can actually lead over to a cardiac arrest, but they're not the same. So tell me tonight, I'm going to share some things with you and I want you to be able to write some of these things down for me. So the most common reason for, I'm going to back up for a minute. Cardiac arrest occurs when the heart suddenly stops. All right. So remember that the heart attack, the heart is partially blocked, all right? And it eventually the heart can die. You have portion of your heart is dying because the oxygen is not getting through there. All right. And so that deals with the heart attack. But when you're having a cardiac arrest, what happens is that the blood stops. The blood flow to the heart completely stops. All right. It's no more flowing. And this is why you will see people all of a sudden drop. They can be sitting there and talking to you and having a conversation, and without warning, they can literally hit the floor. All right. So that is one of the things of dealing with a cardiac arrest that is different from having a heart attack. But remember that I stated that a heart attack can lead to a cardiac arrest. All right. And so let me read this. Let me give you some definition here. It says a cardiac arrest occurs when the heart suddenly stops beating and leading to a loss of blood flow to the brain, to the lungs, and to other vital organs. And the most common reason for patients to die suddenly from a cardiac arrest is heart disease. And although, listen, there are other causes such as respiratory arrest, you got electrocution, right?
Yeah.
You got drowning, you got choking and other trauma, right? Those things can lead to sudden cardiac arrest. But did you know that it can occur for no known reason? Y'all talk back to me tonight. Did you know that a heart attack can occur for no known reason? Did you know that, my sister?
I didn't know. No,
did you know that
no,
it
I didn't.
can occur for no known reason all of a sudden?
No, I didn't.
I don't know why and what has happened, but I can't hear my sister. So I'm going to fix this, y'all. I turned the volume all the way off, I guess. There we go.
No, I didn't.
You said you didn't know, right, Yolanda? You didn't know that,
No.
right? Let me share something with you. And I want you all, if you're watching this, I say thank you. Come on in. Y'all come on in. We're just talking about heart disease tonight. We're talking about matters of the heart. And we're talking about something that can affect many of us. And sometimes it can affect us silently. All right. You don't even recognize it's happening. So I want to share some warning signs. And I also want to share some extra stuff, but I'm going to go into this. I'm going to share this right quick. Some warning signs. It's very important to know the warning signs of a cardiac arrest. During a cardiac arrest, a victim loses consciousness. This is when, y'all, they just fall on the ground and they just lose consciousness. You may say, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And they're not waking up. They're not responding to you. All right. And sometimes, what will happen is you'll see somebody look like they're breathing, but when they're taking these big, deep breaths, they're not actually breathing. It's actually called gasping. All right. They're gasping. It's like the body is literally gasping for the last little breath of air that they can get. But that actually deals with cardiac arrest. That's what happens. It's like your body natural response. Another thing is that some of the warning signs is stop normal breathing. All right. They're breathing fine, and then all of a sudden their breathing starts to change. It's no longer normal breathing, and the pulse and the blood pressure will begin to drop. And another one is when they suddenly collapse. All right. How many of you knew that tonight? Let me know if you knew that. Come on in, y'all. I see you coming in. Hello. Y'all come on in. Let me know if you knew that about cardiac arrest. I want to share this too. Sometimes, oh my God, this gets me right here, y'all, because sometimes we don't even recognize that we're dealing with some of the things that we can be dealing with that we don't even think that's going to lead to a cardiac arrest or, a heart attack. What about many of us that got sleep apnea? Can I share with you tonight that that's something that is serious? And sometimes what I found in my own life is that I've been around people and everybody, everybody's like everybody snore, right? People, let me say, people be snoring. And what you don't realize is that most of the time, not all of the time, but when somebody snores, most likely they may have, all right, and I say may have sleep apnea. And what happens with sleep apnea is that they begin to they stop breathing in their sleep. All right. They stop breathing in their sleep. And then eventually, people are, you pass away in your sleep. And you can have a cardiac arrest like that in your sleep. You all of a sudden, you just stop breathing and just, that puts pressure on your heart. And now you don't have a cardiac arrest. And so I began to tell people that if you snore, just get checked out, because a lot of times in the Black and brown community, we don't realize that this right here can lead to other diseases. All right. It can lead to heart disease. Because you're not getting the oxygen that you needed to your major organs. And so, many times I overlooked. I would tell my husband all the time, he's snoring. I look, like, you snoring so much, but I never, even as a nurse, we always just knew that people did it, but we don't realize how it's affecting our body.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's affecting our body.
Yeah.
We're not getting the oxygen that we need. And that means our heart is not getting the oxygen that it needs. That means our brain is not getting the oxygen that we need. All right. So I kind of went off the trail a little bit, but it still connects. So I just wanted to tell somebody, because I just feel compelled to do that, because what happened is your arteries and stuff will begin to thicken up, and when you begin to develop plaque, and now all of a sudden, guess what? You're dealing with heart attack or dealing with a cardiovascular disease, and it can really affect you. All right. So I want to encourage you tonight that is something. And what about stress? Did you know that stress is a big risk factor? Sometimes we don't even recognize that, my sister. And we're going and going, and this journey called life, and we're being affected, right? We got so much going on. We got so many hats, especially as women. And there we are. That stress, literally stress can kill you. My God, stress can kill you, y'all. I put up one of these things tonight. It said that 49% of African American women aged 20 and older have heart disease.
Wow.
Did you catch that? 20, y'all. This starts early, all right? It says 49% of African American women aged 20 and up, amen, older, have heart disease, and 2 times the risk of a stroke. Woo!
Wow.
I hope y'all tracking with us tonight. We're just sharing tonight, and we won't be on long tonight, but we just really wanted to come on tonight, and we want to talk about heart disease and why we should learn CPR, because so many times we're being affected and we don't even recognize it. So many of us have heart disease in our family. Put some hands up for me tonight if you have been affected with heart disease. I see many of you are coming on at this time, and I just want to talk back with you, because sometimes we can see it in our family, but we don't have, just because our family members have heart disease, don't mean that we have to have it. Listen, I know that it's in the bloodline, y'all, listen, but I'll be like, listen, Jesus is in my bloodline. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
And we got to begin to recognize what it is and begin to do the things that we can do to help change some things. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have to deal with it at all. As I stated earlier, I have a family history. My grandmother passed away due to congestive heart failure. My grandfather died due to cardiac arrest. I had a loved one, an uncle, that passed due to cardiac arrest, and I had multiple uncles actually passed away due to cardiac arrest. And so I recognize that it's up to us to begin to change some things. We can make a difference, even if it's in the generations after us. So we have to begin to change some things. We got to begin to change the way we eat. We got to begin to ask some things and do some things. What are some things that we can do to lower our risk? Let's go into that for a moment. What are some things that we can do to literally lower our risk from heart disease?
Exercise,
write it
eat
down.
right.
We're going to take a look. Yolanda, if you can take a look and see if anybody write anything down. I think you're on mute, my sister.
Me? No, I'm
I
not
don't
on
hear
mute.
anything yet. I
Mm-mm.
see Adrian stating facts. Yes, Adrian, it is so true. Everything that we're speaking about, you guys, it is fact. Yeah, I can back it up. All right, I can definitely back it up with all. You can go on to the different things and you can look. And like I said, I won't hold you long tonight, but we just wanted to come on and share tonight. So
Yes.
I'll
We
share some
just
of the
wanted to,
warning signs for the cardiac arrest, and let's talk about these are some disparities that I didn't talk about. I want to talk about this. This one right here always blow my mind. So did you know that American Heart Association indicates that overall incidence of out of the hospital cardiac arrest is higher in African Americans compared to Caucasians? And did you know that over 88% of the time when a cardiac arrest occurs, that it happens outside of a medical facility? It happens outside of a medical facility. So if it happens outside of a medical facility, and the statistics show that over 60% happens at home, y'all, and about I think the last the stats, the research that I saw was like over 17% happens at work, and then the rest happens anywhere. But 88% of a cardiac arrest that happens outside of a medical facility, only 10%, my God, only 10% of the people survive.
wow.
Only 10%. So that means 90% of the people pass away when a cardiac arrest occurs outside of a medical facility. That's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge. But guess what? But for some reason, Miss Yolanda, I can't hear you. Your thing went mute on me, but I know that you tracking with me because I can see your facial expressions. For some reason, I can't hear you though, but it's all good. I may have to
Okay.
turn this up a little bit. Let's see here. Nope. So did anybody know that? Did you guys know that only 10% of the people survive outside of a medical facility that has a cardiac arrest?
Wow.
Write it down in the comments. Let me know if you knew that. But guess what? There's something that we can do about that. And this is why I'm so passionate about teaching others about cardiovascular disease and sharing with you why we should learn CPR.
Yeah.
My God. Ooh, I try not to get too emotional, y'all, because let me share some things with you. Let me share some facts before I go into that, and we're going to wrap this up. There's some facts
Okay.
here. Several factors contribute to the disparities, such as heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and let me tell you, the heart disease, hypertension is a part of that. All right. Sometimes we think we got high blood pressure and we don't really recognize that we got heart disease. But y'all, hypertension is a part of heart disease. Diabetes, obesity, social economic disparities, and what about unlimited access to health care? So many times African Americans and minority people do not have access to proper medical care. My God. And this is why CPR is so important, all right? This is why CPR is so important. And I want to see if I can see some of y'all comments while I'm writing down, going through, and I can't see everything. Okay, y'all. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. Here we go. We're going to talk about some of this. Hello. I see Adrian said no. Hello, Liz. Hello. God bless you tonight. Come on in, y'all. We're just talking about heart disease and cardiovascular disease and why it's so important for us to learn CPR. Now, I'm going to be talking about why we should learn CPR. It's so important. If CPR is administered immediately after cardiac arrest, it can double or triple a person's chance to survive. And remember what I just stated? That only 10% of the cardiac arrest that happens outside of a medical facility survive.
Wow.
And most of the time, people don't recognize that over 60% is at home. 60% of those cardiac arrests, research shows that it occurs at home. And so if we don't learn CPR for no other reason, it should be to save our own loved one, y'all.
Yes.
Because the life that you save, it could literally be your mother, your father,
Yeah.
your sister, or your brother, my God, or even your spouse or your child. And so I get pretty passionate about this, y'all. I get a little bit passionate. So you let me know, Miss Yolanda, if I'm getting a little bit too passionate. Let me know, all right? But unfortunately, as I said, about 90% of the people who experience an out of the hospital cardiac arrest die. But I'm here today to share with you that you, my sisters and my brothers out there, that you can make a difference. You can make a difference by calling 911, all right, and taking action to learn and perform CPR. You make a difference. You can save somebody's life. Because in reality, you are the first responder. Because when we dial 911, now we got to wait for somebody else to come, right?
Yeah.
And they show that it takes about 4 to 5 minutes. In some places, unfortunately, it takes longer. It takes longer to get the help, especially in certain communities. This is why I'm on a mission to help our communities be more self-reliant. Because you cannot depend on somebody else to save your loved one.
No.
Oh my God, you cannot depend on somebody else. All right. So over 70% of Americans may feel helpless. All right. This is what the research shows, y'all. It shows that 70% of Americans may feel helpless to act during a cardiac emergency because they either do not know CPR or their training has significantly lapsed. Sometime, and be honest with me, all right? Be honest with me. How long has it been since you actually had a CPR class? Listen.
Years.
Be brave. What they say? Be brave.
Years.
Be brave and go on and write it down. Sometimes it's a long time.
Yeah.
All right. It's 2 years, and we have to get it every 2 years. And every 2 years is not even enough, y'all, because sometimes you need to refresh. You need to refresh because think about the skills that you learn, and then, if you don't use it, you lose it. So sometimes it's good to just take a refresher before time. And this is why I always encourage my students to make sure that they have their books, because you do need your book for your CPR stuff to go back and just refresh you. Today, I get nurses, I get doctors, and it's like, listen, they need some practice too. All right. Listen, don't assume just because we're in the healthcare field that we know how to do CPR. Because I'm gonna tell you, I trained over 500 people last year. All right. All right. We trained over 500 people last year, and I can honestly tell you that many were so grateful. Every last person that came through to us, they were very grateful that they learned CPR and that we had a chance to train. But some of them would tell you that they thought they knew, but they really didn't know.
Yeah.
And I know you see the commercials out there that's saying push hard and fast in the center of the chest. But until you actually be trained and have somebody to actually help you, it's not as easy as it looks. And unless you properly trained, you just don't have the right skills. All right.
Yeah.
So what else I want to share with you all tonight? I'm wrapping it up. All right. We're getting ready to wrap it up. But this is,
okay.
Over the 70% of Americans not feeling like they know what to do. That's really heartbreaking, and it's really scary. Because this is a very alarming, because 88%, or like I said, or 90% occurs at 88. This one right here, this stats right after today, it says 88% occurs at home, which I knew that. I'm sorry, I knew that. But this means that the life you save could literally be your loved one. But CPR training, what it does, it empowers individuals to take action during emergencies. There's nothing worse to me than seeing the videos where I see that a mother was at a grocery store. I think she was like at Walmart, and her baby was choking. This don't have to do cardiac arrest, but it can lead into cardiac arrest. So her baby was choking, and she didn't know what to do, and she was relying on strangers to help save her baby, y'all.
Yeah.
And so this is why we want you And I'm very thankful for Yolanda today for having me on today. And we had to push and press to get here, but I hope that it's encouraging somebody to learn, all right, and to begin to think about heart disease and apply some of the things that we're sharing, because you can do some things. You don't have to just accept that my family had heart disease and this is the way it's going to be. You can begin to do some things. You can change some things. You can change some generations simply by learning CPR. All right, learning CPR. I'm going to share this last stat with you. It says overall, promoting CPR awareness and training within African American communities can play a vital role. And this is why I go out into my community and do this. It reduces health disparities, increasing survival rates, and fostering a sense of empowerment and self-reliance in emergencies. And failure to learn and to act in a cardiac emergency can lead to unnecessary death. And unfortunately, as I stated, only 10% of people usually survive after suffering from a cardiac arrest outside of the hospital.
Wow.
But effective bystander CPR can literally save a life. It can triple a victim's chances of survival.
Yeah.
Therefore, I say thank you, Yolanda, for allowing me to be here tonight. And I pray that we have encouraged somebody out there to learn more about cardiovascular disease and to encourage somebody out there to learn CPR. Everybody don't need to be certified, y'all. Everybody don't need to be certified. Let me say that again. Everybody don't need to be certified, but everybody needs to be trained. Yeah. Everybody needs to be trained.
Wow.
And there's some things that we can do, eat healthier, right? We can to reduce our risk. We can decrease our salt intake. Listen, how many of y'all listen? That salt shaker, put the salt shaker down. Put the salt shaker down, all right? But we can decrease our salt intake. We can exercise.
Yeah.
We can decrease weight, eat healthier, and also reduce stress. Y'all, reduce stress. And if you smoke, listen, do your best to stop. Even if it's just one puff at a time, like decrease it, all right? Don't, because it's only leading you to higher risk.
It's only a matter of time.
All right?
Yeah.
And so I thank you. Thank you, Yolanda.
Thank you.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm sure. Can everybody hear Yolanda? Maybe it's just me. Say, yeah.
Let's see. Well, thank you.
Go ahead, Yolanda. You can close us
Just
out.
In case
Thank you all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for taking the time out to share such a very important matter. And I hope the viewers that are on now and that will see this show or this video later will take to heart what you share with us on tonight, because it's very, very, very much needed. And like everybody, like you say, everybody don't have to be certified, but everybody needs to be trained. And the training can start with us. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being patient as we went through the different channels to get here. But and I only know that it was a challenge because you had something that God really wanted you to share with the viewers on tonight. And so I appreciate you, and I thank you very much for doing that. And at this time, if there is nothing else.
Thank you all, y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed night. Have a